Yeah, after that Keith Hernandez quote, what did you think I was going to come back with? The unforgettable theme to Spy versus Spy from the Mad TV show and such. But someone who is being quite the trooper and perhaps experiencing some of the pain that one of the defeated spies would in that old skit, Spy versus Spy, is Jerry Bonkowski. He is our NASCAR expert here on Tri-City Sports Now. I'm Marky Billson, 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. You can read him at NBCSports.com or listen to him on Sirius from time to time, as well as on this show, usually every Monday and Friday. I want to really thank you for being the trooper and showing up. Of course, no race in the Cup Series this past weekend, but, Darlington comes up. But I wanted to talk to you about a story. And remember when I asked you about how much longer did you think that the NRA, if there was going to be any problem, but the NRA would be sponsoring NASCAR races. And I did see a story where NASCAR has informed an online gun seller that it won't allow ads depicting assault weapons. The company wanted to have sponsor the last 26 races, and basically NASCAR said no. And so this is sort of a step, I guess, trying to say that the assault weapons, they don't want that to be associated with NASCAR and such. I just was curious here. I mean, is this, in your opinion, a step where NASCAR might try to go away from guns altogether and hunting, like they have tobacco advertising, or for that matter, really frowning on the Confederate flag? You really never see that at a track anymore. Possibly you might see somebody wear one in Darlington this week because it's Darlington, but other than that, you do not see them flying in the infield anymore. Just wanted to say, what was your opinion of NASCAR saying no to the assault weapon sponsorship?
Well, that's kind of a tricky question to answer because, especially in light of all the things that happened of late, El Paso, Dayton, and other tragedies, it makes it's understandable why NASCAR would ban a seller or a sponsor that has anything to do with automatic or assault weapons. This is a very, very touchy time right now.
Yeah.
Understandably so. And while the relationship with NRA will likely continue, and that has done very well for both NRA and NASCAR, and also Bristol Motor Speedway, obviously. NASCAR is very, very prudent when it comes to either accepting or declining potential sponsorships, not only just for their races, but for teams as well too. I mean, certain teams have brought forth potential sponsors, and some of them have been overruled, and they've been told, we can't. That's not part of our. Not part of. It's not a good thing to have in the sport. So I can understand where NASCAR is with this right now. Will it impact the NRA relationship going forward? I don't think so. I think that that's just my opinion, but I think that the NRA relationship with NASCAR has been very good up to this point, and like I said, it's an unfortunate situation, an unfortunate tragedy we've had in this year in places like El Paso, Dayton, and other places. So it's not that big of a surprise, in my opinion.
No, I'm not that surprised either. I will say that, I do respect the idea, Jerry Bonkowski, about, guns don't kill people, people kill people. I do wonder, well, if you took the, assault weapons away like this, would the would-be terrorists, then start planting bombs like Oklahoma City 24 years ago and such? I do wonder that myself. But then again, I started thinking, I'm not sure that in 1995, after that situation, NASCAR would have accepted, at that time, fertilizer sponsorship. Just, as crazy as that may sound, it at the time was not a good look. And so maybe in the future there'll be a time, people hopefully won't be shooting each other up in public places anymore. We can only pray and hope. But for now, yeah, I can see why they did it. I don't think it's that big of a surprise, Jerry Bonkowski. Of course, returning to happier stories and all this. Darlington comes up, the Lady in Black. It is just like Bristol. It seems to be on everybody's top 5 tracks that they like to go to. And one of the things I like about this is the paint schemes. It's the throwback paint schemes and such. And I don't quite get what I think they want it to be, because it's still modern cars. I mean, if I really want that throwback, vintage Grand Prix, or, well, when are they putting an old Pontiac out there or something like that? But just your thoughts here on the throwback scheme. I mean, when the Darlington race happens and you see the old sponsors and the old logos, what does it bring you back to, Jerry?
It's really become a part of NASCAR tradition. It's only been, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it's been that we've been doing this, and it seems like when you think that we finally reached a level that we can't top, we do top it. And this year, especially, that, there are some great teams. Brad has allowed to bring out a team very similar to the one that Rusty Wallace ran in the 1996, better. Then we're going to have at least 2 or 3 teams that came from the movie Days of Thunder. In fact, I'll give you a little bit of a scoop here, Marky. You may be the only person that actually knows this other than my boss. I'm working on hopefully getting an interview with Michael Rooker, who played Rowdy Burns.
Oh, yes.
And I'm hoping to talk to him tomorrow and do a story on it for Thursday. That's my hope. And talk about, Days of Thunder, as well as Rooker does some stuff for NBC Sports as well currently. So I want to talk to him about the impact of the movie and the fact that they're going to have several teams at that race. And just I'm looking forward to doing that story. I mean, hopefully he'll agree to do it. It's going to be a positive piece. But yeah, I mean, it just Darlington has really become, it's a must see, if not must attend event. If you can't make it there in person, you definitely want to watch it on TV, because it brings back so many memories. Certainly a lot of the drivers of today will be honoring or paying homage, if you will, to drivers of another era with the paint schemes they had. And that, that just really gets fans going, gets fans excited. If you've got a car, let's say that has a scheme like David Pearson, you're going to have David Pearson fans going crazy out there, as well as, fans of the modern drivers as well, too. So, they've really hit upon a very successful formula, and I hope this continues for many, many, many years to come.
Well, you see, the thing is, I think you ought to ask Rooker, a.k.a. Rowdy Burns, if instead of having the throwback on the 51 car to Exxon, if it should be Esso. See, that's what I would...
I did something about that online, but, it's not a matter of being totally, perfectly precise, but as long as you get close enough to it, I think the meaning comes across.
Oh, sure. Well, what I'm kind of curious about, would there possibly be a way where that fictitious City Chevrolet that, remember Cole Trickle drove initially, because there's actually some history with that. City Motors in Johnson City, Tennessee, sponsored 2 cars in the very first Daytona 500, including Brownie King's 58 Delray, which, by the way, on my own Instagram account, Marky Billson Tennessee Sports, you can see sort of a 3-minute video that I do looking at that restored. It's only one of 2 cars that are still left from the very first Daytona 500, and City Motor in Johnson City. Now, most cars weren't sponsored in the first Daytona 500. Heck, they were running convertibles against hardtops. This is sort of where drafting was thought of for the first time. But City Motors actually sponsored 2 cars in that first Daytona 500. It doesn't exist, by the way, Jerry. There's no more City Motors in Johnson City. But no, you looked at that, and that was, I always thought, in Days of Thunder, just a little bit of nod just a little nod to what has gone on and this area here in the Tri-Cities and all that, at least as soon as I learned about the relationship with Brownie King and City Motors and the first Daytona 500. Let's look to the future. Goodyear is targeting 2021 for a new tire in the Cup Series. It's supposed to be radically different. Tell me about this. What's going to be different about the tire?
I honestly don't know. I mean, they really haven't said much about the specifics of the tire, but it doesn't surprise me because, we're going to have the totally redesigned new car in 2022, and, this is kind of like getting a head start, if you will, because, when we've had changes over the last, 20 years roughly, we've had the car tomorrow and then the Gen X car and all that, they came out with new tires before those cars debuted to kind of get them, get teams ready for how that rubber is going to apply to the new cars, and that's very similar to, I think, what they're going to do with this situation too. So, not a surprise. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a plus for the teams. It'll be a plus for the cars, a plus for the handling, and if you maybe a lot of fans may not really notice this or haven't really paid attention to this, but if you're wanting to give these cars, put the best rubber under the cars, to give them the best traction, the best mobility, best availability, to go from up on top of the track down to the low groove, all that kind of thing, and everything in between. So definitely looking forward to the new tires in 2021 as a prelude to the new car in 2022.
Well, from what I understand, it's going to be that right now they have a 15-inch wheel and they want to use an 18-inch wheel in 2021 for the Gen 7 car. And so the hip-hop fans will like that, certainly, if you know what the 18-inch, rim looks like. And it's currently being used, Formula One is going to go to an 18-inch wheel next season. They currently use a 13-inch wheel. So that might be something, bigger wheels. Okay, big wheels keep on turning. How would that affect?
You broke up there. I lost you.
I was going to say, what would a bigger wheel, 18 inches instead of 15, what would that...
Yeah. Better traction. There's no question about it at all. 3 extra inches of tire, will give you a better footprint on the racetrack, and you'll be able to do a lot more when it comes, especially to cornering. I mean, certainly an 18-inch wheel, let's say at a Daytona or a Talladega, is going to have a lot better ability to move around, but it's also going to give you the ability to move around a lot more on the road courses as well, too. So I'm very bullish on these new tires, the width. I think it'll be a big thing for NASCAR. And I think that this is just my opinion. I'm just thinking, because the tires are going to be wider, I'm beginning to think that maybe they may not be dropping off as much as they do currently. So maybe these tires that we're going to be seeing in the future may go longer. And that could, how will that impact pit stops and pit strategy and all that kind of thing? So I think it's definitely going to be a good thing, no question about it.
Let me ask you Racing 101 question. We always hear about the sticky stuff in Bristol. What does that do to a tire?
It essentially gives you better traction.
Sure.
So, it makes you stick to the top.
No, I get that. I was just wondering wear and tear. I mean, better, worse, no impact whatsoever?
I don't really think it has that much impact.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's really destroying the rubber, prematurely. I don't think that it's making the tires wear thinner sooner. I think it's just another tool, if you will, in the toolbox to keep the cars as the track as possible.
Like I said, I mean, hey, going to the 18-inch wheel, that's going to make the hip-hop fans happy. Be inclusive, okay? I'm not the biggest hip-hop fan in the world, but hey, I mean, the more the merrier. Let's come on in here. That could be actually something...
Yeah, but where do we draw the line? Do we start putting spinners on the hubcap?
Well, no, that's, I mean, come on. Just go one step at a time, baby steps and all this. I mean, you are the guest here and all this. We're more than happy to welcome you, but, here, it's all that sort of stuff, and all this. He's Jerry Bonkowski, and he's really a trooper today. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit. This week 0. Are we starting football season too soon? Unicoi County must have thought so, and I think a few other teams did. And then SoCon John Hooper. We're going to talk a lot of SoCon as Tri-City Sports Now continues.
American Savings at Neighbor.